I need new music.
This is the JJO Discover New Music Podcast.
Joining us today from a band called The Ghost Inside. You've heard of them, probably because they've been doing this for a long time, and everyone loves them. Jonathan Vigil. Jonathan, how are you, my friend?
Yeah, I'm doing great, man. Doing great. Thank you so much for having me.
Good enough intro? Was that good? Did I build it up enough, or are we off to a good start? Do you like that?
No, I think you should hype my band up a little more, I like that.
Ladies and gentlemen, the greatest band in the world. Well, that's hold on. But no, man, we are excited. Obviously, talking new music from The Ghost Inside, and the new album, Searching for Solace, already had its digital release. But we're going to have our physical release for those of us that like grabbing the CDs and the records on June 7th. 6th studio album. Let's get right into it on this one. And correct me if I'm wrong, but this lyrically has a theme to it. And that would be maybe COVID or the COVID pandemic and kind of what we experienced, what you guys experienced. If that is the case, I kind of want to know, was this a let's write a COVID themed album per se, or was it just something that naturally occurred in the making of Searching for Solace?
Searching for Solace as a whole isn't just about the pandemic. The song Light Years specifically is about the pandemic, about how, we were all in our house. We were all looking out the window and we could see the world in front of us out there, but we couldn't go experience it. We couldn't live it. And mentally, that took me to a really bad place in life. Like I'd never really had been in that situation before. And so I just didn't know what to do. And I was just like, the end felt so close, but so far away. So that's what Light Years is about. But the record as a whole is called Searching for Solace. And the artwork is someone's head cut open with a maze in their mind, because I think a lot of people set a goal, they set a destination, they set something. Like we all want to be happy. We all want to find solace. We all want to be in that place, but like, it's never like a direct linear path to anything. So it's never just an open mind. There's twists and turns and lefts and rights and ups and downs. And in order to get there, there's so many roadblocks along the way that it's not really about the destination itself. It's about the journey along the way. It's about the search. And that was something my dad told me a very, very long time ago when I was really young. Life will never just be flat. Like life will never just be content all the time. Like you have to experience the valleys in order, to like really feel the peaks, like you have to deal with the down to experience the good. And that's kind of what encapsulates the whole record.
I love that. And I think that's such a good description of what you guys put together. And obviously it's close to you and what you guys have put together with this one in the latest album from The Ghost Inside and Searching for Solace. Was there any other kind of maybe linchpins in this that got us to where we were in this latest album? Was there some driving factors in this that got us to the end result?
Yeah, I kind of touched on it before a little bit, because it was the first time in my life where I've ever experienced that kind of like despair. Like I've always been a very happy-go-lucky guy. I've always seen the glass half full. Mm-hmm. And it was the first time in my life where I was seeing things as the glass half empty. We were in a really bad tour bus accident back in 2015, and our band got taken away from us, and for a long time, and we didn't know if we were going to come back. And then we put all this work physically, did all this work mentally, emotionally, just to get back to a place where we could play shows again. And we started off really small. We did one show, and we had another one lined up because we were like, okay, we can do more. And then we did that, and then it got stripped away again from the pandemic. So that really literally split my brain in two. It was like, again, I think that's why you picked up on something like that, because it was such a driving force behind the record. That's kind of what a big driving force behind the record for sure.
And I don't want to be too dark and brooding in all of this, but you also have a song, and kind of building off of that, a song that I'm sure emotionally kind of puts you in another headspace, Cityscapes, which I believe is an ode to your father. Tell us about that one.
Yeah, it's exactly what it is. It's an ode to my father. So we had just started a tour in Australia. We had spent so much time and effort and money to get down there. And we played the first show, and then I went back to my hotel room, and I got a call from my uncle. And I'm like, my uncle never calls me. What the hell's happening? This is weird. And he told me my father had passed, and I didn't know what was going on. Like I instantly my eyes just welled up, and I was just shaking, and I didn't know what to do. And I remember being in my hotel room, looking out at the Brisbane skyline, just in tears. And So Cityscapes is about literally me looking at the city skyline, the cityscape, and contemplating what to do with my life, because part of me was being like, hey, you need to go home and be with your family. This is the time for family, like da da da. And the other half of me was like, if you leave, you're going to set the band back a lot financially. Like, it's going to really affect you guys a lot. And on top of that, there's people who've paid money to see your band play. And that was ultimately my driving force, because my dad was a musician. My dad taught me and like just showed me a love for music and appreciation for lyrics and for songs. And he was a guitar player, and there was always, music playing in the house always. And so it made him proud of me. It made him proud of me to be able to kind of take the reins, take the torch, and like go to the max with it. And so Cityscapes is about the struggle of wanting to go home to be with my family and continuing on the tour, knowing it was going to make my dad happy, having to come to grips with the fact of my family not really understanding that. And
yeah,
maybe some of my family might have been mad at me for not coming back, being like, why aren't you coming back? Your dad died. And like, but he would want me out there. I know that if he was alive, he would want me to be out there with the people that paid to see my band.
Thank you for sharing that. I know that's probably something that's very deep and personal to you. Obviously, anytime you get that close to home and something like that, I think it's awesome that you put it into the musical form to share with everyone. And touching on that one last time, is there a reason behind the 12-year span from the moment of your father's passing and experiencing that to releasing it now? Has this been a long writing project? Have you just sat on it for a while? Why release it now on this album?
Okay, so back when we did Get What You Give, our record from 2012, my brother had passed right before we started working on that. And so we put a song on there called White Light, and that song's about my brother passing. And it's pretty much polar opposite music-wise, but the theme of the lyrics is obviously very similar. But the amount of emotion and connection that song has with people is mind-blowing, because like, I write about stuff and, a lot of stuff that people experience, but maybe not everybody. But something like White Light or Cityscapes, everyone, no matter what experiences, whether they experience a lot of loss in their life or don't really experience loss till later in life, like everyone, that's something that everybody at some point has to deal with. And I would see the reaction, and I would see the emphasis, and I would see the like connection that people had to a song like White Light. And I knew how cathartic it was for me just to get those words out on paper and to have something as a tribute and as something as like to help me that was also helping other people deal with their loved ones, their own father, their brother, their sister, their cousin, their friend, whatever it is. Like, so I knew that when the time presented itself, there was going to be a song about my dad. I didn't have any plans. We went into these writing sessions just kind of open to each song being about whatever. And initially Cityscapes was going to be an interlude track, or it was just going to be kind of like an instrumental, kind of just breaking up the two halves of the album. But Andrew, our drummer, came up with like a melody in his head. He was kind of humming something, and he was like, he said the word cityscape. He just said it like, and then as soon as I heard that, with the emotion that the song was giving me, the way the music was making me feel, and hearing the word cityscape, it instantly just like clicked. I think what's so special about those songs is they're so honest, they're so real. And, it's something that like is not hiding behind deep lyricism and like metaphors and like all this stuff. It's like very apparent. It's very honest, and it's very just cuts to the point. And I think that songs like that are important, like not every song has to be some literary, like genius writing. Like I think a lot of people just want to feel the connection. Right. And so, yeah, when he was saying, escapes, like when he was doing that, I was like, oh my God. Yeah. And then it just hit me. And then that song just start to finish just came out. Like it just happened. It ended up being a lot of people's favorite song on the record, which is cool.
A tune and a word. It's amazing what we can get from that. And we see that and then some on Searching for Solace, the latest from The Ghost Inside.
Listen, rate, share, subscribe. Discover new music now at WJJO.com, in the JJO app, or wherever you get your podcasts. Rock has a new interview every Thursday evening between 6 and 7. 94.1 JJO.
I need new music.
This is the JJO Discover New Music Podcast.
I want to talk about now the production side of things. Obviously, you and the guys putting the music down, getting the lyrics together, finding those melodies. Comes time to produce. You had not one, but 4 producers, which I think some bands may go, are you guys a glutton for punishment? What the hell were you thinking? Tell us about that, because that's a lot of cooks in the kitchen, but obviously it helped you get to the sound you wanted for this latest album.
Yeah, a lot of bands do see working with this many people and being like, "Oh, this is going to be hectic." But for us, we went into everything with an open mind. We chose these people for a reason, because we're fans of how they work, the products they produce. We're a fan of what they have going on. It is too many cooks in the kitchen at times, but our band is primarily music writing. Is our drummer Andrew? He's also a guitarist. He's primarily the songwriter. I write all the lyrics. Chris also writes music too, but Zach and Jim have input, but they're not a super big creative types. Like, they're not really the ones to be able to. They'll just be like, "Oh, I hear this part, but I hear it like this," and they'll say that. So they'll have input, but they're not ones to like create something. And so having the producer is also just an extra songwriter overall. Like, helps with lyrics and placement, but then also helps with structuring and parts. And it's always nice to have an outside ear to be more, not judgmental, but more critical of what you're doing, because it's so easy to hear an idea and have, the 2 people who are big into the music, like, take off with it. And it's good for someone on the outside to be like, "Hey guys, we need to pump the brakes a little bit. This is kind of going in a direction that maybe isn't the best." And what's really good was, like, everyone we worked with was really respectful of hearing everyone out and everyone's ideas. And there was no idea off the table. We went into all these writing sessions with a very open mind. I think the biggest part of being in a band is you also want to be able to love and appreciate the music, because if you don't, then why are you doing it? Like, that was a big part of this record was us all at the end of the day being like, yeah, this song is awesome. But it was a cool experience. And it was something that we really took a lot from. And I think what made it what it is we went into everything with an open mind, and we said, you know what, no matter what, we're going to just write what was within our power, the best thing that we can write. And at the end of the day, if it's good, it's good. If it's not, it's not.
I like it, man. Ego's at the door, and different takes and different ears it can produce a great thing, and keeps you from probably getting stuck in a rut, or at least, the same old thing. I want to ask, is there maybe any surprises on this album for fans of the Ghost Inside? They may go, "Oh, that's new," or "Wow, that's interesting." Is there maybe anything that'll catch people off guard and make them go, "Huh?"
I mean, we didn't introduce a lot of melody on this record. This is by far the most like clean singing that we've had on any of our records. I just think that, back in our 2015, when we had our accident, we put out our record, the self-titled record, back in 2020. And that felt like a lateral move, where it was like an updated version of the last album. We were like, we're in this bubble. We know what we're good at. Let's just do that, and let's just make it the best we can, because we know that we can, and it's us getting back into music. And for this record, it was really, we wanted to really elevate things. We really wanted to take things to the next level. And we remember a time when we almost didn't have the band, when we almost lost this for good. And we wanted to go into this and be like, we almost didn't get a chance to do this, so let's not hold back. Let's give everything we have to it. So I think the biggest thing is the structuring. It feels a lot more like pop rock structured. Like, it's very verse chorus bridge, breakdown. Like, it's very structured. I think there's songs like Cityscapes where it stands out a lot, and that was all with intention. That goes with the theme of the record. Like I was saying before, the push and pull, ups and downs and stuff. Like, there's a song that's like Death Grip, which is like a super heavy, just aggressive screaming song. And then there's a song Wash It Away, which is like primarily singing. It's like real pop structured, and it's like all back and forth. So I think the structuring, and I think I think the song Cityscapes is one that just stands out a lot as far as the sound of the song. But Yeah, it's just an elevated version of everything that we like and that we wanted to do. So if we're doing this again, and we're not going to half-ass it because like I said, we almost lost it, and that's not fun. So we don't want to mess with that.
Well, we can't wait to hear more. Again, Searching for Solace. It's digitally out now, but physical release will be June 7th. So mark it down. I think I know the answer to this one, and we're going to get to rapid fire in just a second. But I asked this to everyone. I know we've talked about some very personal tracks for you and what you guys have worked with here. But do you have a favorite track? Again, I think we may have a general idea, but if there's anything else on this one that maybe really stands out for you.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Cityscapes is important to me, but as far as my favorite song, I think it's got to be Light Years. I think that song is everything the band does, just amplified. It's fast. It's the chorus is really catchy. It's really melodic. There's a huge like soaring single note lead that's like we're really known for. And I think that's just everything the band does, just amped up. So Light Years is going to be my pick for my favorite song on the record.
Love it, man. Love it. Well, again, everyone is going to hear this and more. Searching for Solace out again June 7th, or if you want to get your hands on it now, it is available now in digital form, which is awesome, man. Let's do rapid fire, and then we'll get you back to doing your rock star thing. Sound good?
Sounds good, man.
No wrong answers on this. You just go with your gut. We're going to learn a little bit more about Jonathan of The Ghost Inside. All right, mashed potatoes or baked potato?
Baked potato.
Would you rather be 4'5" or 7'7"?
Jesus Christ.
That's a good.
No. That's a good one.
No.
7'7".
So you would be. You'd rather be.
I'd rather be really tall than really tall than really short. Yeah.
As you're little, you can scurry away. You can scurry. You can sneak into things.
Dude, I'm 6 foot on the nose, and that's perfect. Like, can I just stay 6 foot?
No, you either got to be a freakishly tall or Willow from the movie Willow. That's what you need to be.
But I like Willow. I do like Willow, but no, I would be tall. All
right, you get to be in the NBA. That works. Batman or Superman?
Batman.
Disco or techno?
I guess disco.
You guess disco? Put the bell bottoms on?
Techno just sounds like robots having seizures. I don't like that.
Yeah, unless I'm balls deep in a couple pills of Molly, I don't think I'm gonna go for it. I'll go disco.
Exactly.
Soaked jeans or damp socks?
Soaked jeans.
Horrible answer. Damp socks all the way. That's wet.
Oh, yuck! No shot. That is. Taking every step is just in water. No way, dude. No way. It's gross.
Chafing with the hot wet denim. I don't know, man. Hey, I said no wrong answers. You're right. You're going with you. This isn't Brock. This is Jonathan. Last one. Would you rather fight one horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses?
100 duck-sized horses.
Any specific way you would fight them?
I feel like I would just start just kicking and mashing and slamming around. Like they're so small. What are the horses gonna do? I
mean, little tiny hooves, little tiny horse teeth. I mean, they get you on the ankles and the shins.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, but a horse-sized duck sounds terrifying, dude.
That's dangerous too. That's a dangerous animal right there. That's right.
Horses are big, so imagine that being a pissed off duck, dude. No way.
I should change a Canadian goose, but then I don't know. I'd have to adjust the numbers, Then it'd be really terrible.
Yeah, then it'd be like 92 1/3 or something.
Right, exactly.
It wouldn't be a full 100.
Jonathan, thank you for humoring me. More importantly, thank you for taking the time to talk new The Ghost Inside. Searching for Solace, again, out June 7th, physical form, digitally available now. Can't wait to hear more from you guys. I really appreciate it, brother.
Appreciate it, Brock. Thank you so much, man.
Listen, rate, share, subscribe. Discover new music now at WJJO.com, in the JJO app, or wherever you get your podcasts. Rock has a new interview every Thursday evening between 6 and 7. 94.1 JJO.